I never thought I'd become the kind of man who notices tone changes, the pauses between words, the way a sentence sounds rehearsed instead of natural. But marriage teaches you things you never planned to learn. My name is Elliot, and for 8 years, I believed my wife Maribel when she said she loved me. Not loudly, not dramatically, but in that quiet, everyday way that feels solid. The kind that doesn't need proving. When Maribel first mentioned the trip, she said it casually. It's just a girl's trip, she said, brushing past me in the kitchen. Miami, 4 days. Don't worry. She didn't even look up when she said it. At first, I didn't worry. Why would I? I wasn't the jealous type. I trusted her. Or maybe I trusted the version of her I still believed existed. The woman who used to text me photos of sunsets because she knew I liked small things. The woman who used to reach for my hand in public, not because she needed to, but because she wanted to. But something about the timing felt off. She'd been distant for months. Not cruel, not cold, just absent. Like her body was present, but her attention lived somewhere else. Her phone had become an extension of her hand. Screen angled away. Notifications silenced. Smiles that appeared and vanished too quickly. I told myself I was overthinking it. If this part of the story feels familiar to you, tap like so it reaches others who've lived through the same quiet confusion. The night before her flight, Maribel laid out her outfits on the bed. Dresses she hadn't worn for me in years. A swimsuit I didn't recognize. When I joked, did Miami suddenly change the dress code? She laughed. But it didn't reach her eyes. You're reading into things, she said. That sentence stayed with me. At the airport the next morning, she hugged me quickly. No lingering. No kiss that says I'll miss you. Just a light squeeze and a smile that felt polite. Enjoy the sun, I said. She smiled wider at that. To why? As soon as she walked away, I felt something settle in my chest. Not panic, not anger, certainty. You know that moment when your instincts stop whispering and start speaking clearly? That was it. Back home, the house felt larger, quieter. I went about my routine. Work, gym, dinner alone. I didn't check her location. I didn't ask for updates. I didn't want to become a version of myself I wouldn't respect. That night, my phone buzzed. A message from Maribel. Made it? Hotel's amazing. No photo of the room. No photo of the view. Just that. The next day, nothing. No call. No message. Then another text late at night. Long day. Heading to bed. Something about the simplicity felt calculated. If you think silence can sometimes say more than words, drop a comment and tell me what stood out to you so far. On the third night, I couldn't sleep. I opened Instagram, not looking for anything in particular. And there it was. A story posted by someone I didn't recognize. A rooftop bar. Miami skyline. Music loud. Laughter. And then, for half a second, I saw her. Maribel. Her reflection in a glass panel. Hair down. That same unfamiliar dress. A man's arm beside her. Close enough that there was no confusion. The story disappeared before I could replay it. I didn't confront her. I didn't call. I didn't text. I sat there, phone in my hand, breathing slowly, letting the truth finish, forming instead of interrupting it with emotion. People think strength looks like explosions, shouting, accusations, demands. They're wrong. Strength looks like restraint. The next morning, she texted. Miss Yowie stared at the message for a long time before replying. Hope you're having fun. That was it. No questions. No accusations. Just space. If you had been in my place. Type the word clarity in the comments, because sometimes clarity hurts more than lies. When Maribel came home 2 days later, she looked rested, sun-kissed, lighter. She kissed my cheek like someone greeting a colleague. How was it? I asked. Amazing, she said quickly. We needed it. Double quotes. Not once did she say my name that night. I slept on my side of the bed, staring at the ceiling, replaying every moment I'd ignored, every instinct I'd dismissed, every time I chose peace over truth. And that's when I realized something uncomfortable. I wasn't angry because she might have cheated. I was angry because she thought I wouldn't notice. If you believe, stories like this should be shared, not for drama, But for awareness, consider sharing this with someone who needs to hear it. That night, I made a decision, quietly, calmly, and the next morning, everything changed. The next morning, I woke up before Maribel. She was still asleep, turned away from me, phone face down on the nightstand like it always was now. I watched her for a moment, not with anger, but with a strange sense of distance, like she was already someone I used to know. I made coffee, sat at the table, let the quiet settle. When she finally came into the kitchen, she looked surprised to see me dressed for work. Too early. Too prepared. You're up early, she said. I didn't sleep much, I replied, honestly. She nodded, poured herself coffee, and leaned against the counter. There was a pause, the kind that invites conversation if both people want it. She didn't. I'm meeting the girls for brunch tomorrow, she said. Just to catch up after the trip. There it was again, girls. Always plural. Always vague. I looked at her and smiled slightly. Not bitter. Not sarcastic. Enjoy, I said. That smile confused her. Later that day, I called Caleb, a friend who knew me well enough not to dramatize things. I didn't tell him everything. Just enough. He didn't rush to judgment. He just asked one question. Do you feel respected? The answer came instantly. No. That night, Maribel went to bed early. I stayed up, not scrolling, not spiraling, just thinking about trust, about patterns, about how often I had chosen to ignore discomfort because confronting it felt inconvenient. I opened my laptop and checked our shared accounts. Nothing dramatic, no rage-fueled decisions, just information, dates, expenses, a hotel charge that didn't match where she said she stayed, a dinner for two, charged twice in one night. That was enough. Not proof for a courtroom. Proof for myself. When she came back from brunch the next day, she was glowing, laughing, carefree. You okay? She asked, finally noticing my quiet. I am, I said. And for the first time in a long while, it was true. That evening, I sat across from her at the table. No raised voice. No shaking hands. I know, I said. Her smile faded. Know what I know? It wasn't just a girl's trip. Silence. She didn't deny it. Didn't apologize either. She just looked tired, like someone whose performance had ended. It didn't mean anything, she said. I nodded slowly. That's the problem, she started explaining. Lonely, confused, needed to feel alive again. The usual script. I let her talk. I didn't interrupt, because listening doesn't mean accepting. When she finished, I spoke calmly. I didn't walk into this marriage to be an option, I said. And I'm not staying where honesty feels negotiable. Her eyes widened. So what? You're just giving up? No, I replied. I'm choosing myself. I slept in the guest room that night. Not as punishment, as separation. The next morning, I packed a bag. Nothing dramatic. Essentials only. When she asked where I was going, I answered honestly. Somewhere I'm not lied to. She cried. Asked me to reconsider. Promised transparency, therapy, change. I believed she meant it. But meaning it now didn't undo choosing otherwise. Then at this point in the story, do you believe trust can truly be rebuilt after a betrayal like this? Comment your thoughts. This is where perspectives usually differ. I moved into a short-term rental. The first night alone felt strange, quiet, but not heavy. The silence didn't feel like rejection anymore. It felt like relief. Over the following weeks, Maribel reached out less. Her messages became shorter, then infrequent, then stopped. And something unexpected happened. I slept better. I ate better. Thought clearer. The fog I'd been living in lifted, slowly but surely. I wasn't happier because I won. I was happier because I stopped pretending. One evening, Caleb asked if I regretted not confronting her sooner. I thought about it. No, I said. I needed to see who she was when she thought I wasn't watching. If this story made you reflect on boundaries, respect, or quiet red flags, consider sharing it with someone who might